Howdy folks, it's Clarissa and welcome to my channel Trips and Trots. So today I wanted to do something a little different. It's morning, I've been up for a little bit, so I'm not like, this is just me on a typical Saturday morning. Now I have my my last long run before the marathon today. But the last time I checked the temperature, it was only 25, and I think the high is going to get to about 35, which is fine. And I think I'll probably head out maybe around 10, between 10 and 11 today, because it'll just be warmer than it is right now. I'm not taking any footage because it's going to be cold. I'm going to be wearing my gloves most of the time. I might take them off if I get warm, but it's just too much to try to film whenever I'm out there in the elements. So, but I do plan on doing some things today, something different. I thought I'd share some more information. I have been running for over 20 years now. It wasn't something that I started out doing as a young person. I didn't start running, and I have a feeling a lot of people get the running bug in their system later in life, and that was for me as well. I think I ran my first 5K in my late 20s and just kept building on the mileage till I decided I'm going to run a half marathon. And then I wanted to run my first full marathon before the age of 30, and then that ended up being I completed my first marathon at the age of 34. So I had some setbacks along the way, lifestyle changes and everything, which does dig into your training. But yeah, it's been a happy journey. I've met so many people, and it's just been a true something that I'm always going to take with me. I'm never going to be elite, and I can only be proud of the accomplishments that I have made for myself. But so many friendly people, and just it's been a life-changing experience for me, to be quite honest with you. So today, being my last long run, I have been dealing with a lot this year. So I don't want to deep dive into it, but women, when they reach their mid to late 40s and their 50s, hormonal changes happen, and I've been struggling with that. So, but I'm doing everything that I can, and I have this arm issue that just won't go away, and it's just been bothering me for about 6 weeks now. So I couldn't get into the orthopedic soon enough, so I finally decided to go to my group PCP, and we are going to try physical therapy. My first physical therapy appointment is on Tuesday to see if there's something that I can be doing to strengthen this arm. It's my right arm, and it is elbow pain that radiates to the wrist all the way down to my pinky, and it also goes all the way up to my neck, and my shoulder's affected as well. As a matter of fact, it seems like, and I could be wrong, but even as I'm like, this shoulder is significantly like lower. So is it my back? Is it my neck? It's just like I've been down so many rabbit holes. It's just been something that I've been dealing with, and it does affect my running. So I'm just gonna see how today goes, because the pain, it's not terrible, but yet it's affecting my everyday processes. So, reaching up to lift, or reaching up, lifting, anything like that, it's been, I'm in constant pain, and we'll get to the bottom of it. But, along with that, then, the hormones are going and everything because I'm just in that age bracket. So I'm trying to tackle it as easily and as educated as I possibly can. And after today, it'll be great because now all I have to worry about is, okay, the long haul of the training is done. Now I can just focus on having a great marathon experience, which will be my 8th marathon. So I wanted to show you, first I'm going to show you some of the things I plan on doing for today. I have my Humagels and I have 5 of them. So I normally switch it up a little bit, all depending on how I feel. I will take one at 5, 9, 12, 15, and 18. I think whenever I trained for my last full marathon, I think I took 6 with me, which the 6 would get me to about 20 miles. But I always like to take my last gel right at the last 3 miles of the full marathon. So I don't know if I want to take more than 6 with me. I don't think I've ever taken more than 6 with me. Sometimes on the course they will have gels for you, but for the slower runners, they'll run out of the supply, which I'm going to be in the back of the pack. So you can never faithfully depend on there being a supply of gels or energy beans or anything like that if you're a slower runner. But so I have my gels, and I have been running most of my high miles in my Guide 18s, and I just bought a pair of gently used 18s. I mean, they look fantastic. I ran a 9 miler. It was whenever I was supposed to have my last long run. Not my last run, I apologize. I was supposed to have 2 weeks ago, I was supposed to hit my 20 miler after my 19 miler. And I had to listen to my body, and my body's like, no, if you go out there and do that, you're going to end up injuring yourself. And then you're going to be, down for 3 to 6 weeks, depending on how the healing process is of, whatever's going on with my body. So I only did 9 miles that day. It was a Sunday, and that was the first time that I ran any kind of long distance. I had ran on the treadmill with them once, and they were okay. And then I ran the 9 miler. I do run slower in my 18s. These are gently used, obviously, and I've put about maybe, we'll say 12 to 20 miles in them, because I'm not sure how many treadmill runs. I may have ran 2 treadmill runs in these, along with the 9.3 miler that I did. I decided I was going to make it at least a full 15K whenever I ran that medium distance, which I think I made the right decision. I think I needed to just let my body heal whatever's going on. So I'm in my Guide 18s today. Now, my other pair of Guide 18s were a size 6. And I was having some toe issues. I ran in my Guide 18s for the last half marathon that I did at the end of October. And I could just tell that my left toe, that was having an issue with it. And so I bumped it up a half a size. So in these, I purchased, like I said, gently used. And I think for $65. So if you look up the price for Guide 18s, regular price, they're much higher than that. I want to say they're at least 140. But I didn't investigate those numbers or write anything down. I'm just going off of memory. I think a regular pair of Guide 18s will run you, like brand new retail price would be about 140, unless you're getting any discounts. So, yep, and I think that was a perfect purchase, and I suggest that to anybody that needs a pair of running shoes, especially if they want to try something new and they're not sure if they want to do that. I did that with my there was another shoe that I've ran in 860s before, New Balance 860s, and they're a great shoe for stability because I need that extra stability and support. I wanted to try a wide version, and I bought them used as well. 860s, great running shoe. I love that one too. Guide 18s, 860s, and I totally love my Elite V4s by New Balance, the SC fuel, whatever. I always mess it up. But they're my New York City Marathon New Balance Elites they're carbon plated. Now with carbon plating, I realized that I need more support because the strength in my feet just isn't there. So I could probably faithfully say that I could do a really, let's see what, I would be able to run well, maybe in a half marathon, but for the full distance, I just don't want to take any chances with the New Balance Fuel Cell Super Comp V4 Elite, something like that. It's a lot to say. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can get my dog to be quiet. We might have to listen to my dog bark a little bit. She's not happy because my husband is doing something in the kitchen and I'm upstairs, and well, she rules the house. She's the smallest animal. We have 2 cats and she's smaller than the 2 cats. Well, maybe not as small as Kinley. Kinley's an older cat. He's 14. And he's lost some weight over the years. But yeah, she's tiny, but she's dynamite. Yeah, she definitely rules the house here. Okay, so getting back on course, I was telling you about the carbon plated shoes that I have currently. I have the New Balance. They're my favorite. And my second favorite is going to be my Speed 4s. Now my Speed 4s, I still don't want to run the full distance. I ran the Saucony Speed 4s. I ran the 19 miler in those. Now they run narrow for me. And I had some foot pain for a couple days afterwards, where it wasn't debilitating by any means, but I feel like I wish if they have a wide version in the Speed 4, I think I would do that the next time. But they are phenomenal shoes. I love the Speed 4s for Saucony. And I really kicked some butt on a 4 miler, and I did my second, well, not lifetime achievement because I only started using Strava a few years ago, but as I've become slower, as I've aged, I did a 4 miler, and Strava told me that I did my second fastest 2 miler in those shoes, and I maintained, like, I think I want to say it was a 1240 pace, average pace. We went up a big hill, and so I had to drop back to like a 14 during the big hill. Like it probably runs at least three quarters of a mile up a hill, and the elevation's pretty challenging. But yeah, they rock. I just, again, maybe for like a shorter distance, but I still don't have faith, especially because of my feet being sore on the outer part of my foot. I felt like, yeah, I didn't give my feet enough room to spread out after I had been out there pounding the pavement for so long. So today, Guide 18s, and my Guide 17s were my Steady Eddies. My Guide 18s are my Steady Betties. So we went from Steady Eddie to Steady Betty. Now, the other thing that I'm doing today, because I've been dealing with this arm issue, is I am using K-tape. Now, there's all kind of different K-tapes out there. The kind that I'm using is supposed to be copper infused, And instead of having to cut it off or tear it off or however you want to do it, it comes out in strips. So if you need something to be longer, you could probably just tape, like once you get one applied, you could tape the other one up. But this is, I'm going to be using this on this forearm and up this arm, basically all the way from my shoulder down to my wrist. And then I will probably wrap it around this area too. Because like I said, I'm not sure exactly what's going on with this arm. I don't know if it's wrist, elbow, or everything's related, if I've done something to my back. Who knows? But I've been down so many rabbit holes. Eventually, I'll figure it out. And hey, if you have any suggestions on what you think's going on, go ahead and leave me a comment. All right, so we've talked about my K-tape. We talked about my shoes. And this is the other thing. It was an early birthday present to myself. I bought the Apple Ultra 3. Yes. The Apple Ultra 3 watch, and I love it. I mean, it's definitely, you know, I can get about 2.5 days of battery life out of it, and I will sleep with it, but I don't always like to sleep with it on. I know it can give you your sleep score and everything, but my wrist will break out if I wear it too long, if I sleep with it on. So I'll take a break. I'll sleep with it maybe a few days a week, and then I keep this wrist, you know, open to air and everything. And this is a heavier watch, so I'm not going to say that it's uncomfortable, but you definitely can know that you know you have this watch on. I mean, it's definitely heavier than whenever I had my series. I think I had the Series 8 before I upgraded to the Ultra. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to show you some of the things that I am most proud of in my running journey, and those are my 7 full marathon medals. And I've not placed many times when I've been running, but I have ran 3 races, a 10K and 2 5Ks, where I have come in under my age group and placed in my age group, which I never thought would ever happen because I'm a slower runner. But lower participation, and as I'm getting up there in age, I've actually been able to do it. So I'll show you those. All right, the first marathon that I ever ran was the Steamtown Marathon many moons ago. And this was even before they even put a date on it. But I ran that, was my first, and it's highly suggested as a first timer marathon, beginner marathon, because it's fast and there's not a lot of uphill. There is an uphill at the end that some people will complain about, but mostly a bus picks you up, takes you to like the top of a mountain or something, and you're just like, you slowly go, you know, more downhill. So that's why it's a lot of people that are looking to get like a Boston qualifier will run the Steamtown Marathon, and it's in Scranton, Pennsylvania. The second marathon that I ran, and then you're going to start seeing dates and you're going to be like, oh my God, she's so old. But anyway, this was the Baltimore Marathon, and I ran this one. This was the marathon that I was worried about because I had done something to my knee, and I was looking back, because it's so funny, you could look back at old pictures. Marathon Photo will still send you stuff that's archived and be like, hey, we have these old pictures of you. Would you like to see them? I'm like, sure. I wore a knee brace in that one. It was a lot of fun, and it was challenging. And I remember being at the starting line for the Baltimore Marathon, and a girl that I was chatting with, she's like, is this your first marathon? I'm like, no, it's my second. And she apparently knew a lot about running. And whenever I told her my first one was Steamtown, she's like, this one has hills. And I'm like, yeah. So yeah, but it was a fun experience, and it was slower. I think I may have ran it in like 5 hours and 15 minutes. I know it was over 5 hours though. Because Steamtown, I ran it in 4 hours and 46 minutes. So, all right, going on to my third. My third marathon was the Marine Corps Marathon. They call it the People's Marathon. And as far as I know, as long as you act quickly whenever registration opens for the regular runners, open registration, you can get into it. It's, you don't have to be put in a lottery, and you don't have to be an elite runner or run a certain at a certain pace to be able to be accepted. And I know there's ways that you can get involved with Boston and, not be as fast. Like if you're doing like a volunteered sponsor entry. But anyway, so getting off subject here. This was my Marine Corps Marathon medal, and I know I finished in under 5 hours, but not much under 5 hours. And this was me back in the day. And right here, yep, I broke my hand. I broke my finger. I had a spiral fracture in this ring finger, and I had pins in that finger. Do you believe that? Pins. Yeah, I ran it with pins, and wow, I was badass back then. I know, but I'm soft now, but it's okay. Moving on. Then let's see. My next marathon was the Big Sur. Big Sur Marathon. And I know you can't really see the international. These are handmade, and they're clay, and this is dropped twice now. So if you run this and they're still making these clay, and I think they are, get it in a protective like shadow box or something if you want to maintain it, because I've dropped this twice. I dropped it literally before I left California on the bathroom floor of the hotel room, and that's how this happened. And then I have to redo it. New Year's resolution. I had all of my marathon medals and all my half marathons and everything on this like hanging, like, I don't even know what to call it right now, guys. But anyway, it fell. It finally fell off the wall with all of my medals and all my stuff, and it broke again. So we had to super glue it back together. But it's beautiful. I don't know if that'll take you over the Bixby Bridge anymore. I will tell you, the year that I ran it, I did not get to run across the Bixby Bridge because they had the mudslides that year. So it was an out and back. So anyway, then we have my next medal. I almost PR'd, but I decided that I was at mile 16 and I had to go to the bathroom, and there was a line to get in to the porta potties, and I decided to wait because I had to go, and I was like, yeah, I have 10 more miles to go. I can't hold it that long. So anyway, I could have PR'd in Chicago if it weren't for my bladder, but there it is. And by far the most exciting experience that I ever had. And I did that one, Big Sur. I ran with a group that was called the Runner's World Challenge, because the regular entries had already sold out by the time I wanted to register for it. So I saw that and decided to do it, and it was a great experience. I got to meet Bart Yasso. He's an accomplished and friendly person. He's amazing. And just so many people that were encouraging throughout that event. It was great, Big Sur. But Chicago, I went out there all by myself. And a friend did meet me out there after the race, just to, cheer me on for the accomplishment. But yeah, I ran that all by myself. I went out there solo, and did all of the touristy, like going to see the Bean and the park and you know, all of the sites. I did that all by myself, but and that was a fun experience. It's the other thing about, you know, running. It's you get out there and it's like becomes a vacation event along the way too. So after that one, I took a hiatus from running, and that happens, you know, life changes, things, you know, just your priorities have to change every once in a while. Then I met my husband. We started dating about 10 years ago, and it was before 2020, but I started, you know, getting back into running again and realized that, you know, I would say I started training maybe in like 2017. So I took 5 years off I wasn't running. I was doing a lot of other stuff, crafting and things like that, you know, other hobbies that I was interested in, but I put the running on the shelf for a while. But whenever I got back into it, I realized that, wow, you know, you lose it if you don't use it, and that's a motto to stand by. But in 2019, my husband and I had been married for 2 years, and I decided it was time for me to start training for a marathon again. And I started training for my marathon. It started out, I registered for the Philadelphia Marathon, and that is the City of Love. So I registered for the Philly Marathon, and as I was training, I decided I've always wanted to have the Marathon Maniac membership. So I strategically planned it, because to get the bronze level of membership, you need to complete 2 full marathons within 16 days of one another, which is totally doable. And what I did is I ran the Harrisburg Marathon, and I used that as a training run. So I tried to not take it as seriously, you know, walk breaks, what have you. And I even entered it in a walk division. So you got to start before the regular runner started. But didn't mean that you had to walk the whole thing. It just meant that you were going to walk and run and not just run. So that was pretty cool. And I also messaged the Marathon Maniac, sorry. I messaged the Marine, I keep wanting to say Marine, probably because I keep looking at my Marine Corps medal, but I messaged the Marathon Maniac contact information and said, hey, will it still count if I enter one marathon in a walk-run group? And they said, we don't care how you get there. We don't care how long it took you to get there. We just need to know that you crossed the finish line, and you have to be able to prove it. So the only thing you need to do is you send your information, and they'll look up on the websites to find out if you indeed finished. So I ran Harrisburg, and then I turned around, and then I ran the Philadelphia 2 weeks later, and I developed a really bad case of bursitis whenever I ran that, because I don't think, you know, I said that I was using Harrisburg as a training run, and I don't think that my miles were built far enough for me to go from 18 or wherever I was in my distance to go all 26 and then put that on repeat and do it again. But I did it. And so I was very proud of myself whenever I became a Marathon Maniac, and I just picked up the lifetime membership. So, you know, I want to own it, and I want to be that for forever and ever. I don't have to worry about renewing it. It's just lifetime membership is there. So there's that. And One more thing that I was really proud of in 2024, so 2019, I ran, and my goal was Marathon Maniac. Then 2020 happened, and like you were looked at sideways, even if you were walking or running outside without a mask on and you were outside. But I took some time off then, and I had registered for races and everything, and 2020, I think, messed with everyone's brain psychologically. That was awful. But so I'm glad that we are back to some normal times again. Thankfully, I'm very thankful for that. But I took another step off, and from 2019, then in 2023, I was like, I want to run another half marathon. Maybe I can't do a full, because the bursitis thing, I had to deal with that for quite some time. I had to go through physical therapy, massage therapy. I was seeing a chiropractor. I was doing all kinds of stuff for that. So, but 2024, I had registered, well, 2024 is when it happened, but I registered, like for Disney races, you have to like register 10 months to a year in advance. But I found that Disneyland was going to have their half marathon. My husband always wanted to go to Disneyland. So I was like, okay, I think we should do this. So I messaged my husband because I was off that day, and I was like, are you down if I want to run in Disneyland? And he was like, yeah, we're going. So I ran the Disneyland half marathon in 2024, and it was slow. It was a walk run. And I was okay with that. I just didn't want to get swept by the balloon ladies. So if you know Disney races and Run Disney, you know that the balloon ladies are always at the end, and they keep you on pace to make sure that you maintain that 16 minute per mile. Now there's some loopholes in that, but we won't go into that right now. But they will ask you to step off of the course if you get behind the balloon ladies. If you get behind the balloon ladies and you don't pick it up, they will please ask you to leave the course. So, and I didn't want that to happen. But I ran that, and then I ran the 10 miler for the springtime surprise. And that was my next goal. Is I decided that I wanted to get the Coast to Coast Challenge. So I ran in California, and then I ran in Florida, and I got this cool medal after I completed the 10 miler. And the 10 miler is the shortest distance that you could do to receive the Coast to Coast. So you couldn't do a 10K and a half marathon. It had to be at least the 10 miler, because the springtime surprise is you do a 5K, a 10K, and a 10 miler, and you can do all three of those, and it's the same distance as the challenge for the 10K and the half marathon for the other challenges that they do. But which is another goal of mine, maybe. I don't know yet. I have to test out the waters and see how this last Run Disney event happens, or how it goes. But we'll see. But I'm thinking that I might want to do a princess challenge in 2027. Stay tuned. I don't know yet. We'll see. The other thing I talked about was the fact that I have rarely placed in anything, but the Houtsdale Days 5K that they have, which is a little over 5 miles, but that's okay. You'll have that. It's a little over 5 miles, or I'm sorry, it's a little over 5K. I don't know exactly how much, maybe 3.3 or something. It's not, it's not like you're doing 3.8 or something. But I've ran this twice, and twice now I have won first place in my age group. So then I don't know if you can see that or not on there, but it says first place. I have done that twice in that race, and so I'm very happy about that. Lastly, not only have I received a placement medal, I got a second place plaque once. Now, there's a story behind this too. This is the Run for the Elk, and it's held in Emporium, Pennsylvania. it is fun. And they have all these different distances that you can run. But you could do anything from a full marathon down to a 5K. Okay. It was a trail race though. And there's another trail-ish kind of race. I mean, it's not like you're not in the woods and everything, but it's, I ran the Wellsboro one. It's the Conquer the Canyon. And I did a challenge there where I did the 5K and I did the half marathon. And I want to say that was in the year that I was training for the full marathon. I was picking up all these other races to try to stay conditioned, because whenever you have a race plan, that keeps your incentive to, like, you know, goal orientation. So I was registered for all these races. I think I did Ocean City, New Jersey. I did the Conquer the Canyon. I did the Buffalo. I did the Buffalo half marathon that year in 2019. So yeah, but this was a lot of fun, and I never got a plaque before. And the backside of this story is, unfortunately, I actually came in third, but they were still giving a third place out. They were giving 1, 2, and 3 to each award winner for their age group. And so after the fact, I always, you know, I don't know, OCD, whatever you want to call it, but I was looking down through times and everything and realized that someone in my age group actually came in before me and they didn't realize it. So my second/third place plaque, but I love it. Okay, so that is everything for my running, and that's a lot of history to go over. The other thing I was going to share is that I started this channel as a hobby at the recommendation. My husband's like, you could do this if you wanted to. And I'm like, maybe, I don't know. And then I finally hit record in July of this year. So the last time I brought it up, I was at about 25 subscribers, and now I'm at 48 subscribers. And I'm having a great time. It's a lot of fun, and I love showing people what's out there and what you can get involved in. I'm going to show you lights, and I'm going to show you the 37-foot Santa that's coming, that we have here in Phillipsburg. I got a day short of it, a short video during the day, and I want to show it to you at night. And then I'm going to show you some lights in town and where we live. We have other things coming up as well. You know, we have the marathon in January. We have some Tennessee adventures coming up, and we have the cruise that we're going on. I've never been to Bermuda, so that's happening this late spring, early summer. We're going to cruise to Bermuda, and I plan on sharing a lot of that as well. So, and one more thing that I'm going to do. Okay, yeah, I'm going to run today, and this video isn't over yet. I know I'm just ending this segment of it. It's going to be long and something that I've never done before, and I don't care that my hair's like this. You know why? Because I've got to go out there and run 20 miles today. So, no, you know, this is me until I get out there, and then I'll take, you know, a nice tranquil bath after I get back. But yeah, you're just going to spend the day with me today. But I wanted to show you something else that I'll share that not everyone knows about me, but I'm a sharer. I'm an oversharer, and I am a ring toss champion, and I can prove it. Okay, yes, you are looking at stuffed animals right now. I said that I was a ring toss champion, and I can prove it because this is Ralphie, and I won him in, I think, 2015. That's my elephant right here, and he's my second trophy. I won him, I don't know, about maybe 4 or 5 years ago. No, it had to have been longer than that. But anyway, and then I have my lion here. He was my last ring toss trophy. And I mean, they're big, they're huge, and I keep them. This is our spare bedroom. It's just like a hobby slash whatever room. I also keep my hibiscus here. I know they don't look very happy right now, but if you know anything about hibiscus, they are more of a tropical plant, so they will not survive the winters. So I keep that window open to try to get the light in for them, but they do not like the cold weather. So I have to bring them in, and we have a basement downstairs, but it is an older house. So there's no light to be had down there except for the electricity lights. So, but anyway, yep. I won back to back, not all in the same like years, like not like 2015, 2016, 2017, but every year that I'd play this ring toss, I would win the ring toss. And it started out with Ralphie, and then I got the elephant. And then my husband said, there's no way you're going to go to this ring toss place. That it was at the Clearfield County Fair. Oh, I have some footage of that too. The Clearfield County Fair, we went to go see Rat and Ace Frehley, God rest his soul, over the summer. But we were going to see the Foreigner concert that year. So was it in 2023 maybe I won the Lion? But he's like, there's no way you're going to win again. Third time, he's like, luck got you 1 and 2. There's no way you're going to do it a third time. And I literally threw my third ring and scored and won. And yep. He told me I should get rid of them, but I can't because they're my trophies. So anyway, I'll let you know how the run goes today. Wish me luck, and I'll see you soon. Later today, that is. All right. Thank you, everybody. Okay, I am back from what was supposed to be 20, and my pace substantially slowed today. Yeah, so the cold weather on my muscles, I just can't keep my legs warm enough, so maybe I needed a more thermal leg bottom to run in, or leg bottom. Anyway, I needed a better layer on the bottom, I think. That was fail number 1. It's only 35 degrees out there. I think the wind was between 5 and 10 miles per hour, so not too windy. But 20 didn't happen, guys. It was 18. My pace was awful, and I thought the longer I'm out here, it's just going to be more miserable, and I'm just going to keep getting slower. So I decided I'm just going to go with 18, and I know that my longest mileage was 19, so I didn't get to 20, but I'll be okay. Okay, I'll check with you later because we're going to go see the Santa later on, some Christmas lights. See you soon. Okay, this is the We Are Inn, and they have Santa over here in the corner.
All is joyful and bright. I can imagine a white Christmas wherever I go, whether there is snow on the ground or not. Sleigh bells ring.
Here's the menu. Appetizers at the We Are Inn, in case you didn't hear me the first time. And it's right across from the 37-foot Big Santa. Yep. I might have to put some other music on since we have music going, but maybe you can't hear it that well with me talking over it. Michael, how many miles did you run today?
Only 21.
Only 21? I only did 18.
I thought I was going to do 22, and then
But that's
I
okay.
struggled to do 21.
But you did it. And
I did.
I only
and
did
the
18.
training is now complete, whereas once you were the master, now I am the master.
He's taking over, guys. This is a fan-based restaurant called the We Are Inn in Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania. So if you're
proud Penn State fan like we are, this might be a great place to check out. So, yeah. Hopefully I don't get any copyright on the music. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. There's Santa again. They need to give him a Penn State jersey. Our food has arrived. I got the Rachel with steak fries and cheese, sauce on the side, and a pickle. And Michael got a burger, and he got shoestring fries. They give you different options of fries if you want to choose different fries. But, yep, looks pretty good. There's the Santa Claus. Apparently the largest or the tallest Santa in Pennsylvania. We might have to investigate that, I'm not sure, but we're gonna go over and take a look at it. Here we are, everybody. The big Santa. Let me get some better footage. This is Santa lit up at night. Doing. All right, to give you perspective of how tall the toy soldiers are. I come up to about their shoulder, maybe? See? So you have the toy soldiers, and then you have the big Santa. Sorry if there's some wind, guys. And filled with presents, a sack of presents. Here's some more Christmas lights. This is in Center Street. There's some stuff in the front over here. Dun, dun. This is pretty cute. Welcome to Center Street in Phillipsburg. Now we're gonna officially call it a night. Except if I see something on Front Street that I wanna show you. This is Front Street in Phillipsburg, and they have the lights. And that over there, right there, is the Dead Canary Brewery. We've been there a few times. I'll have to take you in there sometime to see it. Bye! Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.